Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavi bhiriritam kalmashapaham Shravana mangalam Srimadaatatam Bhuvi grinanti e Bhurida janaha. Last Tuesday, we heard Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna when he said, Go beyond both knowledge and ignorance. Go beyond both knowledge and ignorance. This is a very unique way of teaching. All the time they say, always travel in the path of knowledge. But here is one who said, go beyond the knowledge too. Spiritual knowledge is the information about the God or the truth. It can help us only up to go to a right direction, that much. It is a map only. To one person, Sri Ramakrishna, in different places in the same Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, he said, the one person received an instruction that you have to reach over there by this way. There's a map. He, utilizing that map, when he reached over there, what he will do with that piece of paper? It is of no use. So he throws it away. Similarly, the knowledge, though it is containing in the Veda, but the Veda cannot give us the knowledge of God. Conception of God it may give, but not the knowledge of God. That is very important. So many thousands of people are studying Veda, researching on Veda, and in the universities, the students are also reading some of the scriptures. Have they all realized God or the truth or the Brahman? So that is very important. Vedas are mass of knowledge, experiences, expressions of the realized souls. So that much. We were reading the record of the September 14, 1884 in the English book. It is page 522. Sri Ramakrishna was talking with sadhaka. This sadhaka means the one who is trying to realize God. Here the Master Mahashaya, perhaps he didn't know the name of the person. So he is again and again mentioning as sadhaka. Why? Because that man is not like any other householder. He was dedicated for this particular purpose, to realize God. That is called sadhaka. And that's why Master Mahashaya mentioned about. And Master Mahashaya wrote that Narendra was singing. That we mentioned last time. Here all the conversation was going on, people were sitting over there, and after the conversation, suddenly in between, the Sri Ramakrishna must have asked his beloved disciple Narendranath to sing, and Narendra sang. See how it sang. O Lord, must all my days pass by so utterly in vain? In Bengali, this is a very famous song. Jabe ki he dino amar bifale chaliye. Utterly in vain. So here we find that, of course, I was trying to count over here, that day, in that meeting, the Narendra sang 6 songs, and very important songs. When he is singing, all the full song translation is there in the English book. We find that the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he was noticing when the Narendra was singing, The sadhaka, he closed his eyes and he was trying to meditate on those words. What the words? O God, O Lord, am I going to lose all my days in vain? Utilizing all my days in vain. What does the vain means? The human birth, which is very rare, which we have achieved because of the past good karmas. Now, being a human, again, understanding that this life is illusory, temporary, and understanding that there are paths are there by which one can realize God and go beyond this birth and death circle, the temporariness. Even then, I am not doing anything, not trying. Those who do not understand anything, for them it is okay. In Sanskrit, they address them Bala, the children. Bala means the children. They are like the children, okay. They are happy with the games and these and that. But that is a different thing. But when you are grown up, you are matured, and not only that, you have understood that there is a truth. And that truth can be achieved in this very life. And the same thing we find in the instructions of the Lord Buddha. The Buddha is also telling the same. Chatvari Arya Satyani. The four truths, Arya Satya, real truth. What are the four truths? This world is full of misery. And it has a cause. The misery has a cause. One can go beyond the misery, and there is a path for that. These are the four. The same thing again and again through different way coming to us. The full of misery, who will understand it? Who has a discriminative capacity? He will only understand, otherwise not. That those who are stooped in and the ahamkara or the illusion, they constantly thinking, oh, that man is having a 30-storied building and I am having only 25. I must make a bigger building than like this, like the competition all the time. Trying to be in someone in the whole world, name should be on the top, I am the richest man. How much the wealth that I am having, I don't know, but I am the richest man. All this is going on. Suddenly someday, something happened and he is no more. What will happen to all the riches? What will happen to all those things? Temporary things. Most of the people, they do not understand, but a very few, those who understand, even after understanding these, if they go on criticizing others, competing with others, and wasting their time for many other things. So one young lady, whenever she talks with me, can you please tell me when I am going to realize the God? Then sometimes mentally I say, I wish I could do so. So really I appreciate the eagerness. She is in difficulties, she is in problem. I was telling her that I will pray to Mother for you, so all the problems are good. No. So let the problems be there. No, that is not that is all right, I will manage. When the problems are there, insults are there, different things are, so I can remember Mother, but not to solve these problems, but to realize God. Can you imagine? And the people around her do not understand. I told you are really blessed. This type of eagerness, when I am going to realize God? Can I realize God in this? I told that I am going to come visit India in 2020. I don't like to live so long. So many months are there. If the Mother gives me liberation in 1 or 2 months, I like to leave this body. So eagerness is so much. Everywhere, everything, only one pointed. Like the Parikshit, King Parikshit, he was the king. And he was from what background, imagine. Even then, he's only one, how I should liberate, I get the liberation. So that was the, here, Jabe kiye dino amar, bifale choliye. O Lord, must all my days pass by so utterly in vain? Master Sri Ramakrishna was observing the faces of the devotees, what are the reactions after listening to these words. That sadhaka, he was meditating. Then I find a beautiful description. When that sadhaka was meditating, then Sri Ramakrishna noticed that it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The rays of the setting sun fell on his body, the body of the sadhaka. Sri Ramakrishna quickly opened an umbrella and placed it near the door so that the sun might not disturb the sadhaka. The God is helping the people who are trying to realize God. So this is simple, it's very small and very almost nothing an incident, but so significant. The God is trying to protect the sadhaka. Anyone trying in whatever manner, a little manner, in sincerely trying, immediately all the blessings and the protections and the guidance of the God will come. With this small incident that has been recorded by the Master Mahashaya, it has been proved that God tries to protect the sadhakas. And we find on that day Narendra sang nearly 6 songs. Then finally when he sang that, O Lord, how full of bliss, Thou art victory unto Thee. Jai Dayamay Dayamay. It's very difficult to translate all the exact Bengali words. So they have translated in this way, victory unto Thee. Actually the Bengali words are Dayamay, Dayamay. Jai means glory, victory. As Narendra sang the last line, Sri Ramakrishna stood up, still absorbed in samadhi. When the songs were going on, he went into samadhi. You know, sometimes the people, they come, they sing, there's all merriment and entertainment. People, they appreciate those songs, devotional songs. But still people, over a cup of tea or coffee, they'll be sipping and listening and enjoying. But do we truly go according to the meanings of those words that they are singing? If we can, that is called musical meditation. What the Mirabai used to do, Tansen used to do. So they used to meditate on those words. Narendra used to do, Sri Ramakrishna used to do. When they are singing those words like a prayer pouring out, and they are forgetting all, including their body and mind, and only thinking those words, oh, you are so kind, so compassionate, oh God. So that is the way meditation. It doesn't mean that all the time you have to close your eyes and close your breathing. That is the process. But this is also the Ram Prasad, Kamala Kanta. There are so many. They used to sing, and when singing, used to meditate on those words. Every evening when we sing over here, Khandana, Bhava Bandhana, Jaga Bandhana Bandi Tumai. The cut asunder all the bondages that is binding me. Every evening, if we can really pray, because that was composed by Swami Vivekananda, every words are so holy, are so encouraging. Khandana Bhava Bandhana. That is the prayer. Do you imagine that the God is cutting asunder all your bondages, all your attachments, all your ego, and taking you to the liberation? So that they were singing. Then afterwards, slowly, Sri Ramakrishna came down and then he himself started singing. He asked Narendra to sing one or two more, but Narendra told no, because 6 songs are long. So Sri Ramakrishna, in that mood, he sang a beautiful song. Mother, this is the grief that sorely grieves my heart, that even with thee for mother, and though I am wide awake, there should be robbery in my house. It's a song only, but this gives the hint that how we should get liberation. Friends, here we find the Sri Ramakrishna, after the song, before we go to this particular song, Sri Ramakrishna came down and sat by the side of the Narendra, and he said, the God is beyond the Vedas and their injunctions. Can one realize him by studying the scriptures, the Vedas and the Vedanta? Then afterwards he turned towards Narendra and said, do you understand this? The Vedas give only a hint. He is asking Narendra, not others. Very difficult to understand. Our emotion, and that goes only to maybe a scripture, maybe an idol, maybe some replica and relics. That's all. So when that emotion goes and get attached, we forget the meaning of it. Then when we think the Vedas is the holiest of the holy for us, like the Quran, like the Bible, like the Tripitaka, like people, they are thinking that is the holiest thing. Of course it is holy, but how far? As long as we understand that, we read and get the information, get the knowledge, and get the benefit out of that. That is the main thing, not the book itself. That there is a beautiful sloka. It says that the one donkey, he was carrying full load of the very costly sandalwood. But the poor beast could not get the smell of beauty of that sandalwood. He was only carrying it. So this is the way we are only carrying so many books, full of library, these, that, all information only. But what about the true knowledge? And Sri Ramakrishna mentioned it to Narendra. Do you understand this? Vedas gave only a hint. Narendra read all the 4 Vedas and Upanishads, so many others, because he had a tremendous, wonderful intellect. He completed all those. But at the same time, he never forgot the hint of his Guru, Sri Ramakrishna. All the scriptures, this is not the whole thing. But thing that is explaining through the scripture, the idea that you are getting, you should strive to understand that. Then the life will change. You know that Hindus, they are very broad-minded. Hindus are broad-minded. Why? Because in the Upanishad itself, there's a question that is going on between the 2 persons. One is a householder, very famous householder. Another is a very famous rishi. I will quote it from the Mundaka Upanishad. It's the third mantra of the Upanishad. We find the conversation, we can say question-answer, between the Shaunaka, the householder, and the Rishi Angirasha. Shaunaka Havai Mahashalo. Shaunaka, a great householder. Mahashalo means a great householder. That means he has completed all his responsibilities as a householder. He has to take the responsibility to maintain the household, his family and all. That he has completed, he has done it. And in the society, he is a well-established man. Not that out of frustration he is coming, Acha, can you tell me about God? I could not achieve anything in this world, so I am coming to God, let me try my luck. Not like this. He is a completely satisfied person. Now he is coming to understand, and he is so intelligent. He is asking this question, Angirasam Vidhivat Upasanya. When we will study the Upanishad again separately, maybe we will discuss what is this Vidhivat. Only we can say harmly. When you come and say, I know, but I just like to know from you, what is your answer? You won't get the proper answer. Even if you get, you won't be able to understand that. Because your ego is covering the whole thing. Vidhivat Upasanna Prapacha, he asked. Kasminnu bhagavo vigyate sarvam idam vigyatam bhavatiti. This is a beautiful question, very famous question. Almost all the monks in their, when they are giving the discourses, mostly they will quote this line. In that he is asking, oh adorable sir, what is that which having been known, all these become known? He is asking he wants to know only one thing, by which he can understand everything. So this is a tricky question. Can you please explain why all these things are there? The questions are there, answers are also there. But this man is coming, though a householder, but well versed, well read. So he understood that if I have to understand the one, how did he know the one? Because he already studied it. So he came and asking this question, tell me about that one, and knowing which I can understand all others, everything. So kasminnu bhagavo vigyate sarvam idam vigyatam. By knowing which I can understand all others. Tell me about that. In reply, Angirasha the Rishi, he said, there are two types of knowledge. One is para, another is apara. The para means the higher knowledge, apara means lower knowledge. Both are knowledge. The why is higher and lower? The one type of knowledge is eternal knowledge, will never change. But another type of knowledge is all the time changing. Mathematics changing, physics changing, chemistry changing, medicine changing, all different types of things are changing. In the olden days when the people used to build the houses, used to build by the stones. Now so many different varieties of things have come. The architects, those who are studying architect, if they only learn the old system, they won't get a job now. So you have to go on updating your knowledge. But once you know the Brahman or the God, no change at all. No updating of God. Acha, there was only one God you realized in 1960, in 2020. How many gods you have realized? Not like that. It will be only one. So para and apara. What is apara? That knowledge which always needs the updating because it is changing. And what is para? Which never changes. So when he asks that, and he gave a list, friends, I like to draw your attention to that only. Sri Ramakrishna said, this Veda, there only gives the hint and nothing else. And here we find in the Upanishad also, they say, and particularly this our Rishi Angiras, he is a famous, very famous. He is telling, Angiras is giving the Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda, Shiksha, Kalpo, Bhakarana, Chandam, Niruktam, Jyotishamiti, all this. But the main is first, Rig Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda, Yajur Veda, all the four Vedas. What are they? Apura Vidya, lower knowledge. Can you imagine why the Vedas, all the knowledge are changing? No, not that. They cannot help you to realize. If you even completely memorize all the slokas of the Vedas, the people who were there, who used to memorize the 4 Vedas, so they used to get their title as Chaturvedi. But those Vedas could not help them to realize the truth. This is all information. So Sri Ramakrishna mentioned in that way. It's a completely different. And what is para? Yad aksharam adhigamyate. Only that by which you imperishable one, adhigamyate, one can attain. You can attain that imperishable one. So, if we notice that again and again in different scripture, in different way, they are giving 2 things. One is that which is changing, and other which is not changing at all. So these are the 2 things and nothing else. One is permanent, ever permanent, imperishable one, and another is all the time temporary, changing. And what is that is changing is called Jagat, is called Samsara. And that which is not changing is God, the omnipotent, all-pervading Brahman. Sometimes the truth, like this it goes. Now, the song that I was singing, the Sri Ramakrishna was singing, I was quoting, Mother, this is the grief. Ami oi khede, khet kori shama. The Ma Kali. So I really do not understand, oh Mother, how is it that you are present within me and I am also awake? I know that you are here. Even then, something has been robbed of me. How it is possible? You are present, I am also aware about that. Even then, there's a very wonderful way, the expression that I have the knowledge that I am God. I have the knowledge. Those who are following the path of the knowledge, they always say, Soham, I am that. What is that? The consciousness. The God is within me, God is within me. I am not doing anything, God is doing, all things are going on. And in reality, God is present within me. That's true. Whether you understand or not, accept it or not, God is there. How? That we'll come to know from the Shankaracharya. The only thing is, even then, I cannot truly realize. So that is the grief. Through the song, is complaint is presented to the Mother, Ma Kali. This is the grief that sorely grieves my heart, that even with thee, O Mother, and though I am wide awake, there should be robbery in my house. How is it? Now, if we go to the Shankaracharya, we will understand it better. The liberation and bondage. This robbery means bondage. So I know the Mother is here, the God is here inside me. I know, that means I am wide awake. And even then I am failing to realize that. I am only having the intellectual knowledge but not the full conviction. That is the robbery. Why? Who is doing this robbery? Maya, the illusion. Again and again coming and putting the question mark. So this is the liberation and the bondage. Friends, once again, this is for those who have understood it. Those who have not understood what is the bondage, for them it is nothing. The life is just a flow. You are born, you are growing up, you will marry and settle down, and you will have the friends and the foes, the competition, the tension, and then one day you are dead. So that is the life flow goes normal. So they will say, this is natural, this is normal. If anyone was going beyond that and not following, immediately the whole society will turn back and look at that. Oh, why he is not? Everybody should go. They say in Sanskrit it call it Gaddalika Prabha. When all the ships are going, the rams are going, so it's called Gaddalika Prabha. They go one after another. They do not try to know why we are going. They are going all right, but why me? So this is the question. So who is actually having this? Then we know, the Hindus we know, the Vedanti we know, it's called Jivatma, the individual self, the individual soul, the Jivatma. And who is this Jivatma? This is the point. The Jivatma Swayam Parichhidyam Upeta Buddhehe Tadatma Doshena Param Mrishatmanaha Sarvatmaka San Api Pikshate Swayam Sata Prithakte Namrido Ghataniba. I'll just try to give you word for word meaning. Sarvatmaka. In Sanskrit, they do not go in a line by line. You have to pick up to understand the meaning, you have to pick up the single word from here and there, then you can get the meaning. Sarvatmaka in the second line. But you have to start with that only. Why? To understand the meaning. Who is this Sarvatmaka? Sarva Atmaka. That means who is all pervading. This Sarvatmaka. Who is that Sarvatmaka? Atman. Atman, or the Brahman, the consciousness is all pervading. Sarvatmaka, all pervading consciousness. San api, do everything. Sarvatmaka San api, though he is everything, everywhere. San api, that exists itself, assuming the limitation of the buddhi, itself, assuming the limitation of the buddhi. Swayam Parichedam Upetya. Paricheda, aparicheda, aparichinna, is all pervading. Parichinna or paricheda, limited. The who became limited? The unlimited one. How? He himself wanted, itself wanted. Not he or she, it is it. Wanted that limitation. How? Through buddhi. Buddhi is what? You know that buddhi means all the gyanendriyas over which the mind and on which the reflection of the pure consciousness. That is called buddhi. And buddhi is the jivatma. This combination, all the 5 gyanendriyas, the sense organs, then the mind of course is there, and buddhi, and reflection of the Supreme Consciousness on that. So buddhi is the determinative faculty of the mind. So that's the buddhi, the best part of the mind. You know that we have the 4 parts, buddhi is the best part. And on that, why? Because it is reflected. The reflection of the Supreme Consciousness. When the reflection of the Supreme Consciousness is there, so that is the best part. And this reflection, sometimes in one room, all is the solid wall. Only one place is there where there is there is a glass. And in the darkness, people will always look to that. That particular portion which has a glass, and the sunlight is coming through that glass, and we can see that. And through that light, we can see other things inside the room. Buddhi is like that. Buddhi is that small open up where the consciousness, reflection of the consciousness, light of the consciousness entering. Otherwise, there is a dark body, dark mind. We do not find anything. Just through buddhi, we are understanding. You will find some of the people, though grown up, but their intellect is not mature. So you say, oh, they are grown up, but you know that mentally is a retarded. It's a special case. Why special case? Because that buddhi, the determinative faculty, the consciousness is not properly manifesting over there. We are not utilizing it properly. So this buddhi is very important. And buddhi, because it is getting the reflection from the consciousness, I feel, oh, I am that. In the whole room, suppose, all the walls that is blocking the light, then they will all go to the buddhi, that particular, the open, that is the window. Hey, you are our leader. Can you please see outside? Can you please? So he will feel ego. Yes, follow me. I know what to do and what not to do. Exactly this thing happened with the Jivatma. Our whole body, it cannot do anything. So they all go to the buddhi. Can you please tell me what we should do now? Then the buddhi says, okay, wait, I will take care of it. And the buddhi sends the eye and the nose and the ear and the tongue and the touch. By that he collects the information. He says, we should do this, we should not do this. He becomes the leader. But this buddhi is nothing but the reflection. So, and whose reflection is this? Paramatma. And what is this buddhi? Paramatma. Who has taken this for? Paramatma. So that is the thing. So here, if we understand this much, then you will go and lie down and say, oh, I am not going to do anything. Huh? This is all Paramatma is doing. Why I should strive? No, it's not necessary. Really, truly, if we understand this, over, nothing necessary. You will go like the Raman Maharshi, you will go and lie down like this. I am not going to do anything. Let the world go in its own way. Why? Because nothing is there. The same person in different dresses and different moods is behaving. I have seen it a lot. It's not necessary. The same person coming in so many different forms, and that, how it is coming? In reality? No. How? Illusion. You will find sometimes in the movie nowadays, I have observed, one person is coming, the hero, and suddenly they will show you in the whole screen, the 10 heroes are walking at a time. How it is possible? A man becoming 10? Is it a Ravana again? No. These are all illusion. And the electronic people, they know how to make it. The same way, the same Supreme Soul becoming so many. It is becoming tiger, it is becoming the human being, the tiger chasing the human being, man is running, everything is that. And if you know that, you are completely free from fear, as exactly that happened in the life of the young Narendranath, Swami Vivekananda. He was so hungry and he was not getting any food and he lost his way inside a big jungle. Now when he was sitting under a tree resting, he found a hungry tiger approaching him. He never tried to climb up the tree or to save or to cry. He quietly looked at the tiger and said, come, because I cannot eat you, but you can eat me. The same problem. You are also hungry, I am also hungry. Now, without food, both of us are going to die. But you can, at least for some days, after eating me, you can survive. Come, eat me. But God's grace, that didn't happen. The tiger went away, not finding very tasty food over there. So we got Swamiji. But look at the courage. Can you imagine the courage? Where from this courage came? Because of the truth. That and me are not different. That is only ignorant, but I am liberated from that ignorance. That much. I understand, that beast do not understand. So this is what happens. So parichedam sayam, parichedam upetta, limitation of the buddhi and wrongly identifying itself with this totally unreal entity. Wrongly identifying itself. Who is that itself? The Brahman. wrongly identified. That means he himself wanted to have like that, looks upon itself as something different, like earthen jars from the clay. What's that called? The children's the movie, and one king, he went out with a different the dress, all alone, and moving around the city to understand what things are happening. Other people were not aware, so they were. And when in the early morning he was returning, whole night here and there he went, he wanted to hear the conversation of the people, how the people is living. Then when he was coming back in the early morning, his own gatekeeper said, "Hey, who are you?" And then just going inside, "Stand over here." He said, "It is not possible. I have to go in. Before it is the daybreak, I have to go in." But that man told, "Is it? Then I will just call other people, arrest you and put you in the dungeon. Don't behave like this. Sit over here. Look, the king." Now it so happened with us also. We are the kings, we are the masters, and we put on a dress. And after that, I am not allowed to enter into my kingdom. It was luckily he was wearing something, a ring or something. Then the minister came. He went and when he was talking with his hands like this, minister noticed the ring. Oh my God! So immediately minister told, "Hey, move away. Let this gentleman go in." He was the king himself. Luckily the minister noticed the ring and he understood this is our master. The same way we have to understand that who is binding us? We. How? Misunderstanding. What is the misunderstanding? I am the pure soul, but I have forgotten the identity. Now this is the whole thing. The Sri Ramakrishna, through a small song, he is indicating, Mother, this is the grief that solely grieves my heart. You are there inside me. I am also wide awake even than the robbery. So the master was singing, my dear sir, that too makes me happy. The musician that he was singing. And slowly, slowly we come to the different conversation, but maybe in our next discourse we will study. Here, as far as we read the gospel, we find that almost in every instructions, Vedanta is present. He is only giving the idea of the Vedanta soaked in devotion. And here we find that he is also talking about the devotion of our Sri Krishna and the gopis, that relation. Gopis, they knew who is Sri Krishna, but they wanted to have the fun to play with him. The God has taken the form of a human being, Krishna, and all the goddesses, they have taken the form of the gopis. If you read the Bhagavata, you will find the Brahma is instructing all the goddesses and the gods to take the form of a man and a woman to go down and prepare the ground for the Lord to come. And the Lord came in the form of Sri Krishna. And all these gods and goddesses, they were nothing but ordinary, as we are thinking, the very ordinary cowherd boys and girls. Not like that. So these stories from the Bhagavata, we find the wonderful teaching. Same way if we think, when these young people they used to come to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Ramakrishna used to look at them and say, "Oh, you have come? I was waiting for you." When the Narendra came, he told, "Oh, you are here? I am also already here." As if all the plannings they did somewhere, then they came down, and when they are meeting, so they are greeting each other. Of course, these people in the beginning couldn't understand. So they used to think why the master is talking like this. Then slowly, slowly it revealed. And then they understood they are also not the ordinary being, but being humble. They wanted to teach us, to show us that you must follow the instructions of the Guru, the Supreme Being, that is there in the scripture. And at the same time, slowly realize that you are the pure being. The whole religion that gives us this, and to help us into that, they have developed the beautiful stories. They have developed the beautiful music, the songs, the dances, and the culture, and also the rituals. If you go to the Jagannath, they are cooking hundreds of dishes, varieties, and offering to God. Do you think the God needs that every day? It is my pleasure, because previously the king of that country, he used to give the whole money for that, and naturally they used to spend preparing. And then afterwards, as a prasad that will come to the market, they call Ananda Bajar. Ananda means the joy, and Bajar means the market of joy. No distinction. Even the king will sit, the Brahmana will also sit, and all walks of people, they will sit together and eat. Why? Because we are all the same. And who's prasad? Jagannatha, the master of the universe. So this way, through the devotional path also, the unity in diversity again and again. And when one is reaching through the devotion, why through the devotion? Because it is the easiest path. Why it is easiest? Because you can utilize the emotion, all varieties of emotion. You are angry, you can go and fight with the God. No, I am not going to talk to you unless and until you are showing me or guiding me. You can talk to God in that way. In the path of discrimination, in the path of knowledge, no chance. No opportunity of that. Because with whom you are going to fight? You are the person. So that is why they say path of knowledge, of course, is a valid and very perfect path, but not for all. But path of devotion for all. Why? These 4 different type of emotions are there. 5 we can say. All that we can utilize to realize the God. The Sri Ramakrishna's gospel, in every time he is giving us the wonderful and excellent knowledge, Vedantic knowledge, soaked with devotion. And that is the beauty of the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna and the gospel of the person, the Sri Ramakrishna himself, his teachings and the human. Sometimes some people, they misunderstand. And they say, Sri Ramakrishna is not a God. And I wonder, whom they consider God? Sometimes I ask them also, can you please explain what is your idea about God? Majority of us has a very peculiar idea. God means he must be having 4 hands. He must be lifting the hill. Someone was telling, look at the Krishna, he lifted the hill. So nowadays, as a modern time, a machine can lift the whole hill. Does it mean the machine is God? No, not like that. That is not the criteria. Friends, you must be knowing the 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, the first 3 verses, that is listed 26 wonderful qualities. If that is manifested in one human form, one human being, can't we call him as God? That is exactly we see each and every one of them. All those best qualities is so difficult to manifest, practice that one of the qualities. But that man, he was having 26 good qualities manifested in his life. Can't we call him God? Then who else? God doesn't mean unnecessarily we are imagining something. No, the God is those qualities. And why the God has come in the human form? To guide us. How he can guide us? Understanding our condition. He gives us and the present day people, present day world, this condition, he understands. And then he says, this is the way. What is the way? Through the songs he is telling, you are God yourself. And you have superimposed the ignorance on you. Just understand these and be free. Thank you very much. Let us chant this mantra and conclude. Niranjanam Nityam Anantarupam Bhaktanukampa Drita Vigraham Vai Ishavattaram Parameshamidyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
Going back to Mundaka Upanishad, I don't understand why Vedas are excluded, because Vedas ultimately give you the knowledge of Brahma in their end portion.
Hint of the knowledge means realization.
No, that I agree, but in the answer to the question, Kimno Bhagavata Idam Sarvam Vijnatam Bhavat,
Kashminno Bhagavo Vigyate Sarvamidam Vigyatam. Then he goes on telling Paravidya, what is Paravidya and what is Paravidya, and Yaya Tadaksharam Adhigamyate Om iti Brahma, they say to Om, etc. But is Om Brahman? No, it is the indication, Shabda Brahma. If you think that Om, that is that sign that we see, that is Brahman, again it is wrong. And that the last time in the Sunday that we were describing why we say the Om, because the first sound that created, that was the sound like the Omkara. But realization that the Omkara, the consciousness in every being, and those beings covered in different names and forms are nothing but the consciousness, completely different knowledge. So Swami Vivekananda's that sentence, religion means realization. What is religion? Realization. Anubhuti. And Anubhuti, that is direct knowledge, or Paraksha Anubhuti. And through the help of something, it is not. Sometimes I see a great soul and I feel, yes, it is possible. But that also not that ultimate knowledge. Because that great soul I appreciate, but at the same time, I myself have not realized that. When you read the Upanishads, and we go so close to understand so much, and so many different ways they are going on, giving us the idea. But even then, I have not realized that. The moment you realize, that is the ultimate thing. So that they say, the Vedas cannot give you that knowledge. That's why they listed from the Mundaka Upanishad, Rik, Sham, Yajur, all Apara Vidya. Why Apara? They cannot help you. They can guide you that much. As I was telling about the map, they are all maps. With the map, you have to reach over there. When you reach and then enter into that particular building, now I am here. Otherwise, the map is not the whole thing.
Probably that example that the salt doll went to measure the depth of the ocean.
Correct.
So up to the point that it is going there, so that is the area of indication.
The area of indication.
And then once it goes and gets immersed, that is the final
Exactly.
being. Rather.
And that example was given that no one can express actually about the Supreme. Because the moment you anyway express it, immediately it becomes finite. It can never be finite. It's always infinite. And the excellent example is that the salt doll. This is made of salt. And salt comes from the ocean. And it goes to measure the depth of the ocean. What happens? It melts over there, once again become the ocean itself. So when we go and merge ourselves and become that infinite being, that is the ultimate. And sometimes some great soul, they retain this physical body like the Shankaracharya, Sri Ramakrishna. But even then, they cannot give you the complete idea what is that. This is Anandamaya. They say this is the Supreme. They're all this. So that's why Veda are all, not only Veda, any scripture that way, only maps. They can guide you, but otherwise it is not going to give you the realization. So religion is realization. Thank you.